It's saying that we're live. We'll have to see here.
I just got the alert.
You did? Okay. I'm waiting for my alert. Oh, there it is. Well, there it is.
There we go.
All right. Hello, Gun Nation.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I am living the dream.
Cool.
All right. Just so y'all know, 17 might not be on, and Honest is going to try to join in. He was kind of iffy, but so we put him in there, and hopefully he can make it with us. So, but yeah, I was sorry I missed last week, but these guys held down the fort, did a great job. And what's been going on with you, KS?
Just another day in paradise, man. I just made a comment a moment ago. I'll tell you what, we've got a heat advisory from today until Saturday, and it is, I think it was like 108 with the heat index here. And you walk outside and it's just an oven. I mean, the humidity is, it's palpable. I mean, it's just awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was heat index here today was 98, but I was in West Texas last week and it was like 104. It was crazy. I was just like, So definitely summer's upon us, but yeah, thank you, Ranger. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Love the Deadpool gun. Yeah, that is a fun little pistol. I'm really enjoying that. So, but let's see here. All right. But all right, I've got a few questions, and if you want to pop in, is there anything out there that's exciting you right now?
Well, Xtar just sent the EP9 here.
Oh, cool.
So that was very nice of them to do. It's kind of weird. It's half a camera right now, so I had to figure out where it's fitting in the frame. But so I'm very excited for that, and it was very nice of Xtar to send that to have a little bit of fun with. So we're going to make some noise with that over the next few weeks. And then it's going to be kind of SIG City for a little while. A couple of new releases, as you guys know, on those. The X5 Legion, which I'll tell you what, is just extraordinary. And then the 365 XL, of course, as well. So that's going to keep things hopping for a while.
Yeah, they're definitely, I was going to say, those PCCs, and you know this, those PCCs are a ton of fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and you can definitely chew through some ammo very quickly with those things. But yeah, thank you for everybody that's joining us. We really appreciate it. Beretta's on here, Keenan, Steven, Michael, everybody. So we really appreciate it very much. But I had some kind of different questions. I actually thought about these a little bit, and I was like, I'm going to kind of throw these out there, see what you think. And of course, definitely want the family's opinions on these. But, we've all heard of like placebo effects. Okay, like you could take a pill and you think, oh my gosh, that made me feel better, but it was an aspirin or something, crazy. But on some firearms, either the anticipation of them, like you haven't even put them in your hand, or you do get them. Do you have that placebo effect that, man, that's the best gun you've ever shot or you're ever going to shoot?
Okay, so I'm trying to draw the parallel with the analogy. So you've been given the firearm, right? So it's in hand,
or you're anticipating it, and then you get it. Yes, you get it,
and you already have this mental image that it's the greatest firearm and everything. That sort of thing wore off a while ago. I've been around enough firearms. I mean, just in the last couple of years, we featured 110 unique guns or something like that. I don't really get that. And a lot of times I'll get really excited about something. Case in point, the AREX Delta, I was really excited for that. That I talked about it quite a bit. And it turned out to be, in my opinion, a disappointment. And I was okay talking about that. And it was kind of like, move on to the next thing. It wasn't really a big deal. And I didn't have that notion of, it has to be the best. And because it's here and it's on the channel and I'm making a video and all that, I don't have that. I would rather tell the story as I see it and let people decide for themselves what they, what they value, don't value, what they're into, all that kind of stuff. And that's it. And it's one opinion, but no, I don't think I really fall into that placebo effect sort of thing, as you've put it anyway.
Well, the reason that I asked that, and I kind of don't anymore. I mean, like you just made the comment. We've been around tons of guns. I mean, anywhere from inexpensive to super expensive. And of course, I haven't shot every gun out in the world, but um, that kind of excitement of, hey, I want to try that gun. I don't really consider that a placebo, but man, I get comments, and I'm sure you do too. And it can be just a basic off the rack, not custom gun, and people are like, oh my God, this gun. You can really tell that they have, if they've bought it, it's almost like that's their, that's their gauntlet gun. I mean, it's like they have so much vested in that gun, they won't try another gun, or they think that that's the best gun in the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, I get comments like, oh, from 25 yards, I can shoot 15 rounds in a quarter size groove with one eye closed. I mean, I've seen all kinds of crazy comments, and I'm not saying they can't do that. But it's like there's so much vested or excitement in that particular gun. And it's just a gun that I might consider a standard gun or very common gun. But, I didn't know if you had gotten any comments or anything like that before.
Well, I've certainly gotten comments before with that question. And another good example, I mean, the P365 XL in frame. God, seriously, it's going to take a while for me to get used to that. Let's see if I can maybe. All right. So I'm very excited for this. I have shot it a little bit. I told a little bit of that story last night. And there's an extended story on Patreon that's coming out soon on that as well. And a lot of us have seen Harry's video on the XL and some of his experiences. I think he put out a video today. I have not watched it yet, however, but I want it to succeed. I mean, I'm certainly rooting for it. And I want to enjoy it because I would actually really like to keep it because it feels amazing in the hand. I mean, it is a fantastic firearm. However, if it doesn't work, or if I have problems, or if it's not the right fit or whatever, I have to be comfortable as a firearms owner and someone who might want to use something for self-defense to be comfortable enough to say, you know what? No, I can't do it for whatever reason. If it's failures, that's obviously a big no. If it just isn't for me, if the 43X or the Shield or something else is a better fit for me, I need to be comfortable with doing that, even if I'm invested in this a little bit. It is easy to get invested in things. It's easy to put money into things and buy extra magazines and parts and all that kind of stuff. Polymer 80s is a great example. You start investing and dumping all sorts of stuff into these things, and it becomes a little bit of a money pit. Yeah. And so, your mind, you say, God, it has to work. I mean, I've put so much into it and so much work and blah, 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 and everything. You have to at some point be able to, if necessary, take a step back and say, okay, this isn't working. I need to figure something out. I need to break it all apart, and I need to figure out what's going on, and perhaps go back to the drawing board or whatever it is, and not kid yourself into saying, well, it's still the greatest thing ever. Yeah. Well, right now it maybe isn't. Maybe it could be, perhaps, but it isn't right now.
Yeah. And I mean, I understand everybody can get like a lemon. There could be a sample size of one and you happen to get a bad one. But I'm under the mindset that I've always been under. If I shoot a gun, test it, really like it, it works great, multiple rounds, I'm good with it. However, if I shoot a gun right out of the box and, even oil it or whatever and have some issues, I might shoot it a little more to see if it was just, 1911s are a little different because they do require some break-in, but just a production regular gun. I'm not the person that will shoot it and only show the good stuff. I show the good stuff and the bad stuff, even if I shoot it bad. But I'm not going to recommend anything like that, and I damn sure won't carry it myself. So why would I recommend it? I mean, that's kind of the mindset that I go on.
Right. Well, Dennis Jones makes a really good point. He said the worst thing is to buy online a gun that everyone seems to find the greatest since sliced cheesecake. I like that. And the one that you get is blah. But maybe it's just yours that's blah. Should I try again? Well, blah, I like that word, can go a lot of different directions. Is it blah because it's just not as inspiring as you thought? Like that Arex Delta. It worked. It performed. It functioned. That was not an issue at all. I ended up not liking the way it worked, and I didn't think it felt very good in the hand. And so for me, the blah factor was I didn't connect with the thing. It didn't work for me because I didn't like the way it felt. The shooting was blah, I guess a little bit, but so that was blah. But in terms of function, it was fine. Now, If you get a firearm and it doesn't function, it doesn't work right, that could be a blow factor too, but on a totally different level, and Captain Shark was saying ownership bias is a very real thing. It definitely can be, absolutely, because you do invest in it a little bit. But I'm a believer, and if you'd asked me 3 years ago to do this, I would have said no. The guns that I buy are the best. I'm sure I would have fallen into that trap. And I guess after a while, you get just a little bit desensitized to that, and it becomes more, all right, here's the next thing. Let's see how it does. And it'll work or it won't work. I'll like it or I won't like it, and I will tell that story,
Exactly like Scott's saying right here. He's saying I was probably a little disappointed that Harry's 365 broke in my hand. I wasn't a little disappointed. There is a video that Harry and I shot, and I actually filmed it. And then we decided, I took his 365 after it broke. I click, 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 and we showed there was no primer strikes. The firing pin broke. And, we shut the video off because we were trying to figure out what was going on, took the striker apart and everything and found the broken firing pin. And then I did a video saying what happened, and I took it, and literally Harry was filming it. I took his pistol and I threw it in the freaking trash can of one of those 55-gallon barrel trash cans. And I said, this is what I think of this SIG, and because I was pissed, and it wasn't even my gun. And that's after that, I was like, look, that's not fair. I don't want you to put that up, because it's just not fair for him to put that up because it wasn't my gun. And I didn't want him to put it up on his channel and get chewed out by all the SIG fanboys. But yeah, it's a real thing. And, all I was going to do was shoot it. I wasn't, I knew my thumb hung past the barrel, but that's why the 365, I was kind of wanting to see the XL, and put my hands on it and stuff. But, Harry's is not the only video out there that's having issues. There's other videos already too that are having the same exact issues. And yes, I knew that Harry was going to he was, I think, and I actually have the count out of 1,000 rounds. I have his he texted me the true count out of 1,000 rounds. Let's see, here it is right here. Okay. He had 34 malfunctions in 1,000 rounds, 5% failure rate with 124 grain ammo. Well, that's my self-defense is 124. That's way too many.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
I think you could probably run a high point 1,000 rounds and it not fail. So that's why I'm like, really, SIG? Come on. What the heck's going on here?
So let me ask you this, and I want to ask everybody here because I think there's an opportunity for a little bit of psychology 101. Now with Harry's, 100% true because it's all on video and he's willing to show it and talk about it. And we also know him. He's a genuinely good guy, honest guy. So I believe his findings are legit without question. However, with a lot of these, do you guys feel like because the 365 had such a run up on issues and people were talking about it and that got a lot of attention, got a lot of people a lot of attention, right? Because people like drama naturally, and that's drama to a degree. When somebody posts a video and it says it broke or it doesn't work or it's junk or whatever, and it's a statement, it's not a question. Do you get curious? Do you kind of want to know what they're talking about and see what the deal is? I do every single time. That catches my attention every time, and then I get really mad if it isn't broken. But do you think then with the 365 that got the attention that it got, with failures that were, I think largely there were a lot of failures, and I think sometimes perhaps there weren't. Do you think then this little guy carries a stigma with it, perhaps, that people are really looking for failures for this? I'm curious about that.
No, I think they are. I think I don't know if they're like pushing for a failure. It's almost like they're expecting it to fail. And then when it does, they're like, see, there you go. And I'm not saying, I know that Harry's not, because he wants the dang thing to work, but it's like, it's kind of like until you've proven a track record for a longer period of time, don't just throw something out there and let everybody be your test monkeys, and hope it works. Test this crap, know that it's going to work, and you always hear SIG, we ran a 2,500 round test. Well, if you do that, it's going to get hot. And it looks like this might be a heat issue. I'm not sure on that, but I did want to bring up this comment from Nate Wolf. The fanboyism is what makes the gun community so hard, to enter for new shooters. And what do you think about that?
Well, I think that can definitely be true, especially when you go to local gun stores. I mean, if there's a bias there, I mean, so take Centerfire, for instance, and I love Centerfire. I love the guys there, but I know what they sell. I mean, we talk a lot about that stuff, and they sell predominantly Glocks. That's their biggest seller. So it's very easy to fall into that rut of suggesting a Glock. Also because people know the name, and so it's kind of an easy sell, right? And so there becomes a little bit of that bias there, whether you mean to or not. I mean, if you know that that's going to be something that's probably it's going to be reliable, you're not going to get it back to have to repair, and you know it's going to do its thing, right? Even if there were options that were equally as good sitting right next to it, they're probably going to go with the Glock. And so, yeah, I think there can be a bias, and I think that can make it a challenge for someone who's new to the industry that maybe doesn't have as much time researching and as much knowledge about things, because it takes a long time to build up the knowledge. And I think we're always still learning. You know, nobody's really ever truly an expert, I guess. But yeah, so I think that can be a challenge.
Yeah, real quick, we're having questions like, how are these pop-ups working? If y'all haven't noticed, we're on a new. We're testing a new software called StreamYard. We're not using the old program anymore, so we can actually highlight your comments. I can, as whoever is putting on the chat, can highlight the comments and put them up, so we can kind of catch them and let other people see them. So it's a great feature. We're loving this so far. So, yeah, I think that, you know, and this is another thing, and I've always joked about it, and I've actually said I am joking about this. You know, I give Glock guys a hard time, even though I own 3 Glocks. So I've got Glocks, but, you know, I just joke around about it. But literally the guys that will beat up someone, I mean, in the comments, just physically beat them up. I can't believe you got that gun and you don't have a Glock 19. The Glock 19 is the savior of all guns. You know, it's the holy grail. That's all you need. That is a huge turnoff to anyone that is a new shooter coming in. Whatever gun you shoot, you're comfortable with and you can afford, do it, shoot it, and we're all behind you, because we're all on the same team, or should be. But there's so many people who aren't, and they really beat up people in a really negative way, and it discourages them from getting in and becoming part of the gun community and becoming a novelist and maybe doing competitive shooting later on. I mean, you know, we don't want to turn anybody off to our community, period.
I agree.
And that's the same as, you know, a lot of the channels fighting amongst themselves. You know, we're all kind of on the same team. So we really don't want to put down another gun guy because he does something different with his guns or he owns different guns. You know, we're all, at the end of the day, bullets come out of the end of whatever the hell you have. So, you know, enjoy what you like.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think that's the way it should be. But, all right, and so we had that. Now, and this is kind of and this is just a funny question, because I actually saw it on the news again today, or heard it on the news again today. And I just want to know from the family out there and from yourself, if you laugh. I mean, I laugh out loud when I hear this crap. Today we found an arsenal of 20 guns and 5,000 rounds of ammo.
It's a big arsenal.
Yeah, it's a huge arsenal. But I mean, and they've got them like laid out on a sheet, and they got the, you know, the boxes of ammo and stuff. And I'm looking at that and I'm just going, you know, and their arsenal. I mean, do you think that that's funny? I mean, I'm not trying to make, you know, I know there's some people that, you know, go off the deep end and do crazy things, but, you know, I'm just saying, when you hear arsenal from the media, do you kind of laugh at that?
Well, sure. I mean, you know, the media uses terms to their advantage whenever they can, and anything that creates drama and is exaggerated and extreme, that's what they want, because people like drama. We've talked about this, and so people want to come back to those news channels if they're exciting and it's dramatic, the arsenal of dangerous, violent weapons and all that kind of stuff. And it's a bunch of 22s that are broken. I mean, you know, it's drama. It's all drama.
Well, the particular ones they had laying out, and from the looks of it, a lot of them were military surplus, you know, like those SKSs, Mosin Nagants, you know, and things like that. So he was probably a history buff or collected older weapons, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think they're actually kind of cool, but they were acting like this guy was just off his rocker. Oh, and I forgot the what did they say? An abundant amount of clips. And there were like maybe 15 magazines there. And I was like, whoa, okay.
It's a lot of clips.
Yeah. They were calling it clips, but I just thought it was funny. And every time I see that stuff now, I've seen some, where they've got 9,000 rifles, where it's literally like an army. So that's a little different, but I just think I just always laugh when I see the arsenal, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just joking around, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I have in my truck every day.
Well, but, or when they talk about the firearm, that when you pull the trigger, it shoots 400 rounds a second.
Exactly.
That is impressive.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a little crazy. But all right, and then this is another question for the family and yourself. Do you feel that civilians should own body armor?
I don't really care one way or the other. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would sort of wonder why. I don't know. I mean, if that's your thing, if that's your jam, that's totally cool. Or if you're super into prepping and that is one aspect of it that's very important to you, more power to you. I would never say you shouldn't do it or can't do it. It's not for me. That's not a thing. I'm more interested in survival gear to be able to, make it through the night with, all the basic amenities possible, like water and things like that. I'm not as worried about, bulletproof vests and that sort of thing, even though there's no such thing. So no, that's not a thing for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a big proponent to have it, and I actually own it because I think that, just say if we had looting, rioting, just say if something, just went crazy, like that happened in, it was up, what happened in Missouri? Remember Ferguson? That all went crazy. Shop owners, homeowners, they're having to defend themselves. Hell yeah, I'm throwing on my vest. And I mean, anything that can help you, I don't think that's a bad thing. So yes, I'm a big proponent of it. And there's some places that won't sell to civilians. Some even local stores, they carry bulletproof stuff, but they won't sell to civilians, only military or police officers. And I understand that too. But, I think if you can get it, and if you don't ever use it, and if it, depending on what it is, if it's not steel plates, a lot of that stuff can expire, but I say have it.
Yeah. And that's why I say, if you want it, if that's your jam, go for it. You should not be restricted from it. So I firmly believe that it's just not my thing,
Sure. No, I understand that. I'm just saying there shouldn't be any restrictions. And I've always said this, anything they have, we should have. I mean, hell, I should have a tank in my front yard.
Well, Philo, I like Philo's point. That's a dumb question. Who are you going to hurt with protective armor? And that's very true. Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you're more dangerous with a baseball bat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Or you could put your plate on yourself and knock yourself out, fall on the floor or something like that. But yeah, I just think you should be able to have it. No harm in it.
Sorry, Joker 3421. A lot of people buy and carry P320s. So yes, body armor is a necessity in case one is dropped. Joker, I like that. That's the comment of the night. That was really
there you go. And actually, it should be Kevlar holsters maybe for that.
That's really funny.
But I think that whatever you want, you should have. Now, and a question that I had for you. And I've had this question. Matter of fact, I was asked this question 2 times tonight, as a matter of fact, and that's why I wanted to bring it up and I wrote it down. How do you go about getting products to test?
A variety of different channels. A lot of times I reach out to companies. Every once in a while, they reach out to me. It just kind of depends. But usually, I'm going out to them and saying, hey, here's who I am. Here's what I do. Check me out. If you want to work together, let's talk. And that works 70% of the time, 65 maybe, but whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, what I do is the way that I get it. And this is the way that I answered it is I get it and I say, I either buy it, because I just want it, or I will reach out to the company, shoot them an email, or a DM or something like that and ask. Some will say, no, we don't send out products. Some will say, sure, I'll send it out for you to test it. And I'm not, that doesn't, because we get these products, that doesn't mean that we're going to give them a favorable review. And I do let them know that, I'm just like, hey, it's going to be honest, here's whatever I think about it is what I'm going to say, and we'll go from there. And a lot of them, I look at it this way. If a company is reputable and they believe in their product, they're not going to care what you say. But I have had some where I say, I'm going to give an honest review, whatever I feel. And they're like, oh, okay, I don't think we're going to send it out. And I'm like, did you think you were just going to get a good review because you sent it to me? So there's some that have reneged, but, some that send it out. So, and I was going to say, that's the same thing that I replied to the person, the two people, but, I just think there's nothing wrong with asking, because like we've talked about before, there's not gun advertisements on the TV or product advertisements. YouTube is kind of the way to show it. Instagram is the way to show new products or different products, and that we have interest in. And I think it helps the companies. Some people are like, oh, well, you're an influencer. Hell, I think we're all influencers. If I buy something at the grocery store and pull it off the shelf, somebody might see it and go, hey, that guy's buying it, I'll buy it. That doesn't mean that you're selling your soul to the devil or anything. So I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But if you say something is a great product and it's trash, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, but people are, people are going to know. You guys out there, you're smart. And we are too. I mean, we watch videos just like you guys do. And you could tell pretty quickly if something's not on the up and up, if something's not on the level, you can kind of see through that, especially over time. If you've got somebody that just this is the greatest thing since sliced bread all the time, that it just can't, there's no way that can't happen, right? There have to be some things that you don't dig for one reason or another. They're not your thing. I don't want to share very much, but there's a firearm I'm going to be reviewing coming up here before too long, and I already know that's not going to stay. It's not my jam. That's not for me. It's not that it's bad necessarily, but it doesn't connect with me. So I'd be disingenuous if I said, God, this is the greatest thing ever. It's not. So I think people pick up on that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I do too. You do have a question from Young Guns. Is the X5 Legion worth the $900?
Got that? God, I swear. Here, you guys, what do you think? It's going to take a while to get used to that. Yes, 110%. Now that I've said that not every gun's the greatest, and this is not either. It is not perfect. In fact, I had a couple of hiccups in the beginning, but it was actually my fault. And I talk about it in the video. I don't want to give it away, but it was no fault of the firearms. But I've been unbelievably impressed with this thing. This thing has been fantastic. And I've made the joke several times, and I'll say it again tonight. The Shadow 2 may need to be on alert because this thing is pretty fantastic. And keep in mind, the Shadow 2 is my favorite gun in the collection. I've said that multiple times. I'm not ashamed to say it. So if it's that good, that might say something. So Young Guns, I think so. I think they priced that thing just right. Some of the Legions are a little bit too expensive. I don't think this one's priced out at all.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't shot it, so I physically don't know that. I do know the Shadow 2 is definitely a keeper. But and then you have another question. How's the revolver?
I haven't worked with it yet. I'm excited to try it. We'll see how that goes, but it's going to be a little while before that happens.
Okay. And then here's a good question. And this is, we both have experience or, have dealt with these. What about the Canik TP9 Elite? I can pick one up for $300.
TP9 Elite, I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good gun. I had no issues with it or anything. Our buddy 1776 did not have good luck with his. But no, I think they're good guns, especially for the money. I have not tried the one yet. I think it's called.
This is the one that's $300. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it's absolutely every bit worth $300 or probably a little bit more. So for the money, you're getting a decent gun. I really think so. And their triggers I think are some of the best in the polymer market. I know other people will disagree with that, but that Canik Elite Combat, which is not $300, I realize,
Right.
that trigger was extraordinary for a polymer gun, not trying to, kid any of us here, but that thing was awesome.
Yeah. And I've shot the Canics before too, and they do have good triggers. Never had any problems with mine. I did not have the Elite. I know that 17 got the very early model where they were changing a lot of the recoil springs.
Mm-hmm.
So he had the first one and had some issues with it, but supposedly, they were going to fix it and do all this other stuff. And, he went ahead and got rid of it. But, I haven't really heard of anything, any bad stuff happening with them. I don't own one now, so I don't know. So, but have you had the chance to shoot a Chiappa Rhino as of yet?
I have not.
Yeah.
I have not. I'd really like to at some point, but I have not. In fact, I don't think I've actually seen one, or if I have, I floated right by it and it didn't register. So yeah, I think it'd be really fun to try at some point.
Yeah, I shot Bald and Curious's, and I did the thumbs forward grip, which he told me not to. But then I set it down, we started talking, and I went back to it and naturally did my grip, and I mean, it blew the end of my thumb wide open. So it was nasty, but it was my own damn fault. But you just got to keep your thumb out of the way of the cylinder in the front. So
right.
I didn't do that the first time, but I damn sure won't do it again. I promise you that.
So real quickly, Ferrets with Guns are saying that he's got the Elite 1. It's the same as the Elite, just one mag, no holster. So less frills, but you can always get another magazine if you want. That's not too big of a deal. And 500 rounds, no issues. And I would expect that. I mean, again, I think they're good guns. So that's good. Thanks for sharing that. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think they're worth it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna answer this question, and then of course you can too. Do I like the Taurus G2C? I put my hands on it, and to be honest with you, I haven't shot the G2C. I shot the one that came before that. What was that one? The G or the 111 or whatever?
T111. Then there was
I shot that one.
Well, there was a G2 Millennium or something like that.
That's the one I shot. Okay, it was the one right before the G2C, and I didn't really care for it that much, but as long as it works and it doesn't fail and that's what you can afford, I would say get it. Me personally, I don't have any reason to have it, but I'm not opposed to shooting it either. I have played with the trigger. Trigger's not that great, but it's definitely controllable. You could shoot it, so. But I say if it worked for you, get it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I like the G2C. I think it's a good gun. I've made several videos with it. It needs to not be on any more videos for quite some time, but I think 3 or 4. But no, it's been surprisingly good. I walked into that's my first Taurus. I have nothing but what I've learned over the past few decades about Taurus, and so I built up kind of a bias against them in my mind, based on what so many other people had told me, whether it be locally here or on YouTube, whatever. And so I was biased, and I decided to try it. And for just over $200, why not give it a try? I was blown away, man. Thing works fine. It's not the best gun ever by any stretch of the imagination, but for $200, it's a good gun. It's a good gun, and I know a lot of people don't like to admit it, but it's actually a good gun.
Okay. Yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying it's not. I don't have any experience with it personally. So, there's Honest.
Hey,
hello, Mr. Honest.
Yeah, I'm setting up my computer. Hold on.
That's awesome.
All right. Yeah, we'll try to get. It's not showing the 3 offering. Where is that one?
Yeah, it's there. Just there
it is.
Click the one you were. Okay, well, yeah, you can do that too.
Yep. Yeah, the other one was showing me large, so I want us all to be equals. All right, sit down in your race car chair there.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Let's see here. Let's get this one off here. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of playing with these comments because it's kind of new to me, but it is really cool. I do like this. Okay, let's see here. How are you doing, sir, this evening?
I am tired. I've had a very long day.
Are you pooped?
Yeah, I've been doing actual manual labor all day.
Wow. Especially in the heat, that's probably not fun.
Yeah, and we got rained on twice.
Uh-oh.
Nice.
Yeah. And you know that's bad because sugar melts in the water.
It does, yeah.
You got to stay out of that. Michelangelo has a question, and here it is. Come on, show it. There we go. All right. Outside of Harry's holsters, what holsters would you recommend? And this is really can go to all of us because we all, like different holsters. What do you think, KS?
I'm a one-trick pony. I like Harry's holsters. Actually, that's not entirely true. Before getting acquainted with Harry, I really was a big fan of Vetter. I think they make good holsters, and they've got a wide assortment. Their cost isn't entirely too bad. I think Harry's holsters are a notch better because of the flexibility with them, but Vetter definitely does the job. So those are the ones that I have really the most experience with. So I can really only comfortably talk about those two.
What about you, Honest?
I've never tried Harry's holsters, but as far as like my go-to, I usually go with G-code for myself. I've done a lot of reviews for a lot of holsters, but I like how they carry. So,
okay. I definitely love Harry's holsters. There are, a lot of benefits of them, and Harry knows, like, if it's a particular, if I own a gun that he does not make a holster for, then I will use Shooks. I really like a lot of Shooks, but he really makes a lot of CZ stuff. He makes great holsters, and then I use Renaissance. Use Chip over there, and he does a really great job. There's a lot of different holsters out there. Now, I'll show you if you want to see it. I literally have 2 tubs. I'm talking the biggest tubs you can get full of holsters, and some of them are okay, and some of them are not so great. So I think we all have the box of holsters.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got several boxes of holsters.
Yeah. I mean, these tubs are literally, what are they? It's the Sterilite. I don't even know what the cubic. There's a sticker on it, but I can't see it from here because I have old eyes. But yeah, they have. They're both full. So
Ghost holsters. I just got a Ghost holster off eBay, and I've never heard of them before, and they're my favorite competition holster so far. I love those things. Yeah, like $90. It came with the hanger and everything.
Yeah, Ghost. I was gonna say, Ghost makes. They make mag holders. Yeah, Ghost makes race belts too. Yeah, they've been around for a while.
Are they really hard to see though?
You have night vision,
right?
Yeah. No, they're good holsters. Yeah, they make some good gear. Their race belts are right there with Double Alpha. And I like Double Alpha holsters. However, I will say the brackets. They have the little 2 steel brackets that you screw in. I actually had one of the brackets broke, and I called customer service, and they sent me another one. So.
I like Alpha belts, but I don't like their holsters. They just feel weird when they're coming out of the holster. I really like Blade Tech, but I'm starting to like this Ghost holster even more. They have they have a total cutaway where your finger touches the trigger guard, so you can feel the gun more when it comes out. And I feel like I can draw a little bit faster.
Oh wow! Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. I haven't seen the one where where it's got you can put your finger on the trigger guard. I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I bought it for a 2011. I don't have yet, so I bought an airsoft gun off eBay and I'm practicing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I know which gun you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, Double Alpha makes great belts. I like their mag holders too. I haven't had any. Well, I take that back, and I did a Instagram post on it. I opened up the package, and they have a little metal tab that is your adjustment for your mags for the wheel. And when I opened it up and literally took it apart, that was broken in the box. Literally in the wrapping. And
I've heard that before from Double Alpha, actually. I've heard that from a couple of people. When I reviewed their, I mentioned their belt in one of my videos, and a bunch of people said they have had issues with breaking mounts and stuff like that. So
yeah, and what it was, I actually talked to the customer service department, and I was like, don't BS me and act like this is the only one that's ever broken. Tell me what's up. And he was like, oh, it's the heat treatment that we use. Some of them are on the outer side of the tray, and they don't get the proper heat. And I'm like, then why the hell do you box them up and send them to customers? But he sent it right out. I got it very quickly, so they were good. Customer service was good.
Nice.
But I would have hated if it would have broken a match. That would have sucked.
What's your favorite mag pouch for like match kind of stuff? Like I use Comptac,
yeah,
and I've always kind of used them, but I'm not in love with them. I've tried I think Ghost actually is the one that makes the adjustable one. Yep. where you can, because I don't shoot limited, I shoot production, but I'm going to start shooting limited, and I need to get used to the whole reloading from the front thing, like the whole angled, because it is faster, ergonomically, but I still kind of suck at it.
Yeah, the double alpha, I've got them hanging over there. The double alphas you can tilt, and they're actually better than the Ghost. And this is from the humble marksman who has tried every one of them in the world. And he's broken some, and he's never broken one of these. So that's why I went with these under his recommendation. And they're completely, I mean, you can move them all over the place, and they work great. And they're really not that expensive, but they're double alphas.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about the adjustable ones is, like, the Comtac for production division, they're so short. So you get used to that length of travel when you're pulling your magazine out. But then when they're longer, like the adjustable ones, I'll try to start turning my magazine will get stuck, and I'll be ripping on it like an idiot.
Yeah, but you're also, if I'm not mistaken, will you be running 170 millimeter mags?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you want the little bit longer ones, and this is what double alpha offers. They're a little bit longer.
Okay.
So they're not the stubbies. So what about you, KS?
I don't have a lot of for mag carriers. I don't really have an opinion on it. I mean, when I used to compete, I think I used Blade Tech stuff for everything. I know I used their holster and these Scorpion belts, the 2-layer belts. But that was it. That was a long time ago. I'm sure that things have come a long way since then. So yeah, I don't really have an opinion, to be honest with you. Always getting the belt. Everybody
makes good stuff, though. I mean, that's, they're still around for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Blade Tech is like, I mean, if you need something super quick and, you don't want a custom holster made or something, man, Blade Tech's been around, and I like Comtac better than Blade Tech personally. Their holsters.
I started with Comtac, but I just don't know if I have a bunch of their paddle holsters because that's what I started with. And I really like the Blade Tech holster a little bit more, but it's always like kind of how your hand feels. That's why I say you're going to, everybody gets into guns, it's going to end up with a box full of holsters pretty much, because you try a whole bunch of ones and you figure out which ones you like.
Yeah. Here's what they look like. So you can see them, and they actually tilt, and you can adjust them, but they seem to work pretty good. And they've got the inserts where you can change them out for 2011s. Like right now, this is set up for, or it's P10F now and the P09, but I got to remember where my camera is. But the inserts for the 2011s, they just snap right in there. You don't have to take them back apart.
So you're going with bullets out, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I used to do bullets forward, and that's the way I always ran it. But when I went to bullets out, I just like it better because I can, put the finger down the front and just pop them. It just seems more natural to me as I'm loading them. It's just.
I hear you. Yeah. I got my reloads down pretty decent. I might have to relearn a little bit, but I don't know if I'll go bullets out. Maybe I'll try it.
Yeah. I mean, this is the cool thing about this. You can, if you want to go bullets out, you can just drill a little hole in it, but all you do is go through the back and it makes a hole. It's super easy. It takes 2 seconds.
Nice.
So, but we did have a question. Do you prefer the LCP or the LCP2 if you're going to have a 380?
That's from Jeff, by the way.
Yes, I was trying to find it. It flew by here.
You're up, KS, because I don't really know.
Well, I had an LCP very early on. In fact, I had an issue with it and had to return it to Ruger, and they had it back very quickly. So it was great customer service. Now, that would have been back in 2000, and I want to say 8 or 9, somewhere around there, right when the LCP came out. I've tried the LCP2. Now, admittedly, I am liking tiny guns less and less, especially as I get older. I just don't appreciate them as much as I used to. But if I had to choose between the two, I'd go the LCP2. They've made enough changes to it, not only ergonomically, but the trigger's better. I think it's a better firearm. However, the LCP, those things have been just uber high sellers, and they've done very well, and people swear by them. So, if you found an LCP and it was, cheap and it was the right thing for you, there's no shame in doing that either.
Yeah, I tried one of and I actually shot it, the earlier LCP, the original LCP. I didn't care for the trigger at all. I mean, it was but it's a tiny little gun anyway, but Then I shot the LCP2, and I preferred it a lot better. And even the ergonomics are a little better. I mean, even though, that my hand still doesn't fit it, I would much prefer that personally. Now, longevity wise, I've heard some people say that they run like a dog and they shoot whatever you want. And then I've had some people say if you shoot too many rounds, they'll come apart. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Well, small, cheaper guns like that always have some quality control issues. I mean, no matter if they're a reputable brand or not, that you're going to find 1 out of 1,000 that's going to have problems.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, you're just dealing with, even their internal parts are just so much smaller, so much more dainty. They're just not a heavy duty build,
Right.
They're not meant for high round count, really.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was watching ASP one time, and he said that he did a class, put on a class, and a young lady showed up there with a Ruger LCP2 to shoot his class, which was like 450 rounds. And the gun like literally blew. It went down a couple of times and they got it running again. And then it literally blew up. I mean, like pieces came out of the gun.
That's fun. I mean, if I had to pick a 380, I would go with the SIG P238 for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's more expensive, but talk about a gun that can take high round counts. I think I put 3,000 rounds for mine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Zero problem.
Hell, it's a mini 1911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels good to shoot too. I can hit with it. I can hit it 100 yards with it. So
Nice.
for a pocket little 380 is pretty good.
Nice.
My wife would say Glock 42 though.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the 42. It's a little bit bigger. I enjoy it a little bit more, but
it's the same weight.
Yeah,
P238 and Glock are the same weight. And if you put it if you can fit it in a pocket, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, me personally, if I was going to go 380 right now, I would go with the Glock 42, and I'm not necessarily a Glock person. However, I know the earlier ones, when they first came out, they had some issues. However, since then, I've shot them and they're definitely shootable. But for the price, I just know that I wouldn't carry that gun very much, so I wouldn't want to pay the $938 price.
I hear you. Yeah, I've got a 42 that I carry every once in a while, just because it's the same. I always carry Glock, so
yeah,
just the same angle and all that stuff. And people always complain about the 40 or the 380, like you wouldn't want one in a gunfight. But it's better than nothing. It's better than a sharp stick.
Yeah. Now, and this is a question that I'll bring up to you because I've never asked you personally this. What defensive ammo did you carry in your 380?
Critical defense. No, I actually carried. Yeah, I think critical defense. Yeah, I carry critical defense in almost every defensive gun I ever carry. I like the ammo. I've done meat tests with it. I've seen Paul Harrell's meat tests with it. I've seen ballistic tests with it. It works really well in short barrels. That's what it's designed for. It's designed for expansion. So I like it. I trust it.
Yeah. Now, what about you, KS?
Say the question again. I'm sorry. I was reading another comment.
On a 380, what ammo would you carry in, or have you carried in it?
I always carried full metal jacket. I just preferred that. Now, part of that was, I had one of the really early 42s. It had a lot of issues with self-defense rounds. It would not reliably feed hardly anything, and so it was fine with range ammo, and that's just what I ended up carrying with it. So, and I, ballistics. I'm not a ballistics expert, but a lot of people have said over time, full metal jacket out of a 380, that's going to give you pretty much what you want out of it. So whatever.
Yeah, I was always a big proponent on the 380s to only carry full metal jacket. Now I had HST and stuff like that, but I was looking at it as it is a smaller pistol. What if the guy's wearing thicker clothing? What if it's cold and that I have to carry a small gun? I want it to go through. I mean, I don't care if I've got to put 5 or 6 rounds in that person. I want to make sure it's going in there. So on those little bitty ones, I always carried full metal jacket. That's just me personally.
No, penetration is more important than expansion. I mean, if you had to pick one, I said it makes sense. Penetration is more important than expansion. If you had to pick one,
Yeah, and that's what I did because, man, and if they've got a thick coat on and a thick sweater on, who the hell knows where it's going to expand. I want it to get down in there. I don't even care if it goes through them. I mean, I don't want to hit anyone behind them, but you know what I mean. I definitely want the penetration if I can get it.
Yeah, from what I've seen, though, statistics on over penetration actually hitting people is like basically like getting hit by lightning twice.
Yes.
You know, that's something people worry about a lot, but it very, very rarely ever happens. I mean,
There's 17.
You know, 308 or something, but
yeah. Oh yeah.
45. They're not going to over penetrate and go through walls and everything. You know.
Yeah. Honestly, you look like a giant with your camera angle.
Yeah, I know. Usually my computer's up here, but I have it on because I have the camera down there. That's why I'm always looking up there like a weirdo, because I have a new camera. And I bought the Logitech thing. KS told me to buy, but I haven't set it up yet. It's sitting on top of my computer, but I don't have the software downloaded.
That's the one that I have too. The 1080p Logitech microphone combo. He told me to buy it too, so that's the one I bought.
What you guys don't know is I actually own Logitech. So you know,
they're a sponsor. Yeah, they're your sponsor.
So do you guys have like a rule that only 3 of us can be on at once? Did you guys kick 1776 out?
we did. We were like, oh, by the way.
No, we invited him on. He just couldn't make it this evening. So, but no, that's the cool thing about the StreamYard too. You can have, I think, up to 6 people on.
That would be a party.
Yeah, oh yeah. Woo-hoo. Yeah, it would be, yeah. Never mind. I won't say it.
We had 4 on Yankee Marshals, I think, that one chat. And that was one of those where we weren't friends. So there was a whole bunch of people always talking over everybody all the time. It was a disaster.
Perfect.
Oh, there's a lot of chats that turn into shit storms. Yeah. Like where they'll have 19 people at the bottom of the screen and you're like, who the hell are all those people? You can't see them because they're little tiny boxes.
So I was just on a radio show for the first time ever. That was weird. Apparently this demonetization thing has gotten really big. I got a call like a couple hours ago and I did it on my phone on the way home. And I was on Locked and Loaded, like a national radio station. They were talking about YouTube demonetizing a whole bunch of gun tubers. And apparently a lot of people are going to get demonetized next week. This guy was there was a guy in there that was like a reporter or something. And he was talking about how YouTube is not done. And like the next month, they plan on demonetizing most of the gun content. So,
wow,
that's fun.
Yeah, well, wouldn't surprise me.
I figured it was coming. So, Fina has a question. It says, what if you shoot through a jacket pocket? Will that affect penetration?
I've seen tests. It depends on what type of ammo, but I've seen tests where it does. And I've also seen tests where it dramatically affects reliability of the firearm. Paul Harrell did a great video on that, where just under bed sheets and in pockets and everything. And really, if you plan on doing that, you're going to want a revolver, and preferably something without a hammer. Yep,
that's exactly what I was going to say. I've seen where they put them in the pocket, shoot the first round, and then the slide jams and keeps it out of battery.
Yep.
And then after that, you're done.
Well, one's better than none. But 6 is better than 1.
Here's the thing, though. You have to get a gun that's specifically made for it. You have to get a pocket gun.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
Okay.
That's it. That's the last joke of the night.
Yeah. Boom. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I think YouTube is placing 1 thumbs down on all gun-related videos.
No, that's not true. There are 3. It's always 3. I always get 3 within the first 10 minutes. Always.
I get 11. Like I get the same 11 people. I get, because I talk shit in the comments all the time. Like if you say something stupid, a lot of times I'll reply back, and I guarantee those are 11 people that I pissed off.
Yeah.
That's funny. I actually don't think that it's former watchers that are doing that. I don't think it's former watchers. I have my suspicions about someone else. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, we've always said that it's KS's mom, 1776's mom,
right?
And other people that
girlfriends.
Do what?
Bunch of angry ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
Still views. That's what they don't know. I don't care.
Oh yeah, it's still
thumbs down. Still watch.
And that's the funny thing. Like, and I've posted them on Instagram and stuff, and I know y'all have too. But when you get into these little crazy arguments with people, like, I had one not too long ago that I posted, and the guy told me that competitive shooting with a pistol is stupid. He said no one should compete with a pistol because it's stupid, and you should only do it with a rifle. And I was like, okay, what about 3-gun? And I was like, and he was claiming, he was this gun guy and everything. And I said, okay, you're a gun guy, so why are you discrediting what anyone does with guns. You should be pro-gun and saying, hey, do you and have a great time. But then he was like, and then he said, no, it's just a man's member contest, and I won't say the word. He said that's all it is a measuring contest of who can hit the steel. And I said, well, that's called a competition. That's what it's about. And then he came back and said, well, why do you need an expensive gun to do it? And then he said, like, Ferrari will only beat another car by so many seconds. And I said, well, seconds count in competition. I mean, it's like he has never done it. He doesn't know anything about it, but he's commenting on it.
Well, yeah, you get that a lot, though. I get a lot of people that comment that have no idea what they're talking about.
But he wanted the interaction. He wanted the attention. And wanted to get your goat a little bit.
Yeah. Well, what they don't understand is, like, guys like us, we get a lot of views and we get a lot of trolls. And they don't know that, like, at least for me, I probably get in those arguments a couple times a day just for fun. Whenever you want to engage, whenever you want to have a good time. And they don't realize, because they think that you're getting upset and all that, because they're always like, oh, don't get upset, don't be a snowflake. And I'm laughing over here talking to my wife about how dumb they are.
Yeah, they don't know we're posting them on Instagram and saying, check this out.
Oh, yeah, which I do sometimes, yeah.
And I do too when they get really stupid. Like the one guy goes, why do you need a more expensive gun? It's only going to be seconds faster. So there's no justification in spending the extra money on the faster gun or the better gun. And I was like, do you know
when, Like, I guess they don't understand competitive mindsets. Like, even if it's a 1/10 of a second, somebody will pay $1 million for it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, look at NHRA, and he brought that up. He said, well, in drag racing, people spend $20,000 to make their car, 2 seconds faster. And I said, $20,000 in NHRA is chump change. That's like what they spend on the tires, jackwagon. So, you really don't know what you're talking about. So there's people who spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to make their car go 2 seconds faster.
I have.
Really fast car will get them girls. And guys will pay any amount of money to get girls.
Yeah, it's always fun. Just, sometimes, like you said, when you're in the mood, you'll just kind of have a little fun with them.
Well, it's nice when they're funny. At least if you get like a competitive sparring partner, it's pretty funny. If they start getting you back, that's a good time. Now, a lot of times I'll put that on Instagram or something, but you got to let the trolls have fun too.
And I really, a lot of people just go, well, just block them. And, but if they say something like, I don't ask people to agree with me, I like to have different conversations. That's what this is all about. But, when they get too crazy, I mean, if they're just, going off the deep end, then that's a whole different ballgame. But I really haven't blocked. I think I've only blocked like 3 people since I've been on YouTube.
Oh my God. That's like a week.
Oh yeah, that's a day for me. Yeah, well, you have to block people that are being racist, or if they're saying, you know what I mean. Like you get a lot of that, or you get like people that'll drop a whole bunch of links to weird shit, or that's not okay. I mean, you can say whatever you want as long as you're not doing anything that'll get me in trouble as a channel, because they'll actually, YouTube will get after you if your comments are too crazy.
Yeah.
So you got to moderate it, which is stupid. Because, could you imagine being like Hickok 45? Good luck moderating that. Or Grand Thumb. You've been on Grand Thumb's comments.
Or Demolition Ranch or any of those guys.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Subscribers. There's no way. I mean, there are times, and I'm sure you guys have done this, but I'll go back on a video that I know was not as well liked as other videos, and I'll go see if any conversations have happened after the fact, because it's a lot harder to monitor those. You can see your first comments. That's easy. It's in your feed. But when it's responses, if you're not right on top of those, and I never, there's no way, there's no time for that. And they come too fast. There are times where there will be 50 or 60 comments that have built up, or more. I'm sure you see a lot more than that. And people get pretty crazy in there.
And those are the ones that do get away, because you don't get to see those, and a lot of times you don't get notifications for them. And like you said, I don't know how many comments you get. I get hundreds and hundreds of comments every day, so it would be a full-time job just trying to watch that. But you try to do the best you can. So
it's weird. Prior to the demonetization, I was getting 70 to 100 comments a day on the weekdays and about 150 to 300 comments on the weekends when I released videos. That was a day. And now I'm getting one about every 4 hours. And that's it.
I'm getting a lot less too, I've noticed.
Yeah.
But I'm also getting a lot less traffic. Since I've been monetized, suggested videos a lot more.
Traffic, I'll tell you, the traffic dropped 40% after that day.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me. It's like the first steps of, booting us off, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I think. They, because I've noticed my views have gone down, comments, and it's like, this is weird. So, and I've heard of the shadowing and all that stuff that they're doing. So, yeah,
well,
they're trying to silence us.
Yeah, all this came from Vox, like the Vox Steven Crowder thing. Where I got no fight, and I watched an interview. No conflict of interest here, but the CEO of YouTube was on Vox's show doing an interview, and they said that they are, once they start demonetizing people, they're going to be steering all the suggested videos and all that away from those people. So they're going to direct traffic away from us now that we're demonetized. So me and KS are definitely screwed.
Right.
But people can still search for us. I may get 50% of my views from suggested videos and all that stuff, but people will still search for your content as long as they know who you are.
Right.
As long as you're still on there, you're still going to get something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty funny comment here. Trying to find a serious comment in a Grand Thumb video is like trying to find a virgin at a brothel.
Right.
Yeah, his comment section is out of control.
Yeah, but he also antagonizes it. He really,
Well, it drives his traffic too, though, because the more comments you get, the more it's a smart play.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys do stuff that are really, really sneaky like that to help drive the channel. Like Yankee Marshall always says stuff like that, like, I don't do this and that. I don't, conflict doesn't help my channel. But if you go over to his videos, you'll see that any video where he's mentioning Hickok or Iraq veteran or anything always has 3 times the amount of views as normal videos do. So it's like, well, they obviously do help you, know, but whatever.
Yeah, he's not dumb. He knows what he's doing.
No, he's certainly not. He's an outrage monger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He likes to definitely stir the pot.
Good for him. Yeah. We need him, I suppose.
Hey, to each their own, whatever they want to do.
That's right.
So, anything fun and exciting coming up on y'all's channels?
Honest, go for it.
I shot the Desert Tech in pouring rain today and had my first malfunction. I shot 200 rounds of 308 through it, and it was good. And then I shot another 200 rounds of 5.56, and it was good. And then all of a sudden I had a triple feed, which is some shit I've never seen before.
Wow.
I had it in a bullpup, with which I wasn't entirely educated on the battery of arms, so it took a minute. I had to take the ejection port off and strip it out with a screwdriver. So that video should be up in the next couple of days. Desert Tech will love that.
Yeah, they'll love that. But hey, like I said, keep it real. Show them.
Well, one failure out of 500 is not bad, but in the see, that's the problem with bullpups, is that they're so hard to, like, if that was in an AR, you'd rip the mag out, lock the bolt to the rear, strip, you're good. You know what I mean? And I've never seen triple feed in an AR.
I've never seen a triple feed ever.
No.
Yeah, well, I got a video of it, so it's real. But yeah, with a bullpup, I have a hard time with that because you can't check the chamber, see what's happening. Like, I had to strip the ejection port off to see what the hell was wrong.
Right.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But what about you, KS? What do you got coming up?
So the X5 Legion is coming up. That'll be this weekend. That video is done. The P365 XL will be coming up soon. The plan was for next weekend, but it might be deferred a week. I've got the X-Star coming up. Thanks again, Honest. And a couple of product things coming up I'm very excited about. Sonoran Defense and Williams Gun Works, both of those two guys. Hollow Sun here eventually. I've wrapped that up and might have an interesting tale for that one. We'll see. And then some other stuff as well. So a lot of hopefully good content on the way.
Cool. Yeah, I've got a bunch of red dot stuff coming up. I've been testing a bunch of red dots and different guns. And I took 5 guns to the range with red dots and shot them. And it's pretty interesting. The 2 that particular day, there were 2 that I shot really, really well. And it was like, holy crap, really, really well. So, those will be coming up. And I've got some other stuff. I've got some stuff that was sent in and some stuff I purchased. And so that's what I've got coming up. So
have you guys tried the Hollow Sun red dots a lot? Because I've got a bunch of them, and I've actually broke 2 of them now. I just had my second one go down last week, and I don't know if I'm fucking cursed or what.
You're talking about rifle red dots, right?
Yeah. The 503G. I have 2 of them, and now they're both broken.
Wow.
No.
And I've been recommending them up the ass for a long time, and I haven't been able to do a video on it yet. But I have one die on my just on my 5.56 rifle. I shot a round, and all of a sudden, boop, no more dot. It changed the battery and nothing. So I haven't sent it back to Hollow Sun yet. I was going to do a video on it.
Yeah. No, I would, and then see how the customer service goes. But I've been testing the 507Cs, so I got to see where the camera is. I've been testing these, and I've got 3 of these. So far I'm liking them, but we're going to see how the longevity is what I'm concerned with. So
I got a customer service story for you if you got time.
Yeah, sure.
My beloved Glock. I had a Glock 45 frame break inside the gun.
What? Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. This is a Glock.
Yeah,
How did it happen?
Yep. The polymer frame, where the trigger group sits between that and the magazine, there's that polymer wall.
Yeah.
That wall snapped a big crack about 1 inch down.
Wow.
And the gun still worked. The gun, while I was shooting it, I didn't even notice till I took it apart. And the gun still worked. And every time you push the magazine in, it pushes that crack back and pushes the trigger group back in place. So as long as there's a magazine in it, the gun works. So I had it sent back to Glock by my FFL, and they sent it back without any fix at all. So my FFL gets really mad and gets them on the phone, and they say, okay, we're gonna fix it. So he sent it back again, and then it was sent back, and they replaced like the extractor or something. They didn't fix the frame. What? So he calls Glock again, and they say that the gun is fully functional as is. They test fired it, and they will not be replacing it. And I was like, there's a giant crack in the frame. Like, you can't see that as a potential problem. And blew him off. So Glock customer service, not the best.
Wow.
That's crazy. But I thought they were perfection.
Yeah, I spent $200 buying a Glock 45 frame off a website that I'm going to be replacing with. So that's super.
Jeez. Wow. Sorry, dude.
No, that's all right. I mean, I like stuff like that because you find out what customer service is really like. The problem with being like a social media guy like we are is that a lot of times people will send us products and they'll be ultra nice to us, and you never know if they're cherry picked or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when stuff like this breaks from a major manufacturer, then you can see how they actually would treat a person that they're not, giving a product to for review. So not so well, apparently.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had worse luck with Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf's the worst one I've ever dealt with.
I remember your kind of rant on that. Yeah, that is crazy.
So real quickly, and then I'm going to need to bail here in a minute. But Mateo said, has anyone done a drop test on those Hollow Suns? Seems like they would break if dropped. So like I said, the testing is done on this, and I do have a story about that. So some more to come on that, but I'll be excited to share that one with you.
Yeah, Sage Dynamics has actually drop tested. He did the big test on it and dropped it, and it cracked, but it still completed the whole test, and it's still going even cracked. So that's, I did want to throw that out there, but, I mean, like I said, anything can break to where it's, if the glass comes out, you're done, or if a chunk comes out, that affects the dot, you're done.
Yeah, any of those exposed window optics, other than the RMR that has that top like curve to it, all those that are curved with the glass will all break if they're dropped on concrete.
Yeah.
All of them. Like Leopold, Hollow Sun, Venom, they all will. I mean, and Sage Dynamics does awesome tests on red dots. He's the first guy I go to when I look to buy a red dot and see what information I want and stuff. But, there's plenty of other people on YouTube as well that have done that. So, I mean, you guys don't need to waste your red dots. If they don't have that curve, they break. And RMRs break easier than aim points do. Like an aim point micro or an aim point comp M4 or something, they definitely get stronger with the enclosed system.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I really appreciate it this evening. We'll go ahead and cut it off here. We're gone a little over, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. But we appreciate everyone being on, watching. Of course, I appreciate these gentlemen here. 17 will be back next week. And if y'all have any questions or comments, leave them below. We'll all try to answer them in the comment section, and appreciate it so much. You gentlemen have a great evening.
You as well.
Thank y'all.
See you later.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So before you, oh, never mind.